Well, Scody, my trusted Skoda, has gone to a new home and has been replaced by this. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that's the end of the 928 EV project. He's got his fast EV now. Because yes, 0 to 100, 3.8 seconds. MG X Power, my new daily driver. Pretty nice, eh? With fake calipers. There are still big brakes under there, but they're not as big as they look. So anyway, that's it. That's my new daily driver. Goodbye, Scody. Do you know how much they offered me as a trade-in on this car for Scody? With its new control arms, new shocks, APR stage 1 tune, 180 kilowatts, 6-speed manual, RS, fantastic car, good tyres, new cam belt, new water pump, beautifully, always serviced, 200,000 Ks, and what do they offer? 500 bucks. It's just rude, isn't it? So no, I didn't accept that. I gave it for a song to somebody who will appreciate it. So what are we doing today? Well, I've been splurging, haven't I? I went out and bought some tyres. More importantly, wheels. Let's have a look at them. These are the wheels to go on the 928. I've previously had 18-inch Porsche wheels on a 928, and I think they look really good. From 16 up to 18. I think it looks nice, and we could do something crazy and get something, you know, really flashy. But I thought, no, let's just stick with a decent Porsche wheel. So these wheels are off a Cayenne, an early Cayenne, and they're 18 by 8s with an appropriate offset. So let's tidy them up, give them a wash, and see what they look like on the 928. No curb rash, that's good. And the other thing, of course, they've got crazy high profile because they're off an off-roader Cayenne. They're 55 profile, so they're quite tall tyres. We won't be putting those tyres on. We'll need low profile tyres, obviously. But the rims, that's the key. Will they fit? Look, I'm not normally a fan of wheel cleaners because they're generally too caustic, but I quite like Bowden's products, Australian brand. So, wheelie clean. Right, let's see if we can make these wheels go. Battery on, horsepower on, MG unlock. We've got a brake pedal, kind of. Start. Nice. Oh, it built brake pressure. That's good. They're clunking you here. The rear mounts, the front engine mount's not attached, so the whole motor's rocking back and forward. That's why we can't take it for a bit of a fang just yet. We just have to put it around very, very slowly. And that's the first thing to fix, is to do that. So let's just put it on flat ground. Yeah, why not? Nice. So good. Okay, that'll do. Well, Matt's been busy, and in his absence, I've done a few things on the 928. Let me just give you an update of where we're up to. Realigned the bonnet. Battery box is pretty much in. You can see it's bolted in now. These ones are all right. So it's in. Trouble is, we've got a little fouling here on the bonnet. It's just touching just here. So we might need to relieve that just a little bit, but otherwise, battery's in and working, and the car moves. Looks pretty good. Now, as you can see, it's still got the shitty paint, so it's all got to come off, right back to the metal, and that's a job for Stu. As you know, I'm going for the clean look now, so the whole rear wing's gone. We're going clean and elegant, simple look, combined with no rubbing strip down the side. I don't want the rear wiper. The rear wiper just clutters it up. So we're going to fill this, tidy this up. That's what I want. Right, now looking in here, one engine, or sorry, I should say a motor, and it's taking shape. Radiator and stuff's going in here very shortly, but thank you, Matt. Now engine mounts. We've got pretty good engine mounts this side, here, and this side here. So it's secured nicely that way, but there's nothing to stop it rocking this way, because if you look down there, you can see this engine mount here. way down there, you can see how that is not secured to the subframe. It's just sitting there. And now what that means is, of course, the whole thing, when you do any sort of acceleration, it rocks back and forward violently, goes clunk, clunk, bang, which is bad. That's why there's been no illegal test drives around the block. Not that we do that. Sort of already trim's sort of gone around here. Still looking very untidy. At least I got the speakers going. That's cool. Not a lot to show you in there at the moment. The main thing we want to do now is see how these Cayenne wheels fit in there. Because look, these things are they're just stuffed. They're so corroded and perished, oxidised. They need to go right back to bare metal and be painted again. So it was actually cheaper to buy some really nice Porsche wheels. They're already looking great. So trouble is, 55 profiles, totally inappropriate. That's a 50, and we want 40 or 45 or even 35 at the back maybe. So, but let's just see if they fit. Let's put them on and see if I can actually get them on without fouling the guards. Until I change the tyres and put the right profile tyres on, it's not going to go. And then it will go nicely behind the guard there. It'll fit. It'll be a nice snug fit. But I'm still not sure about the suspension clearance at the back. That's what we need to measure. Alright, well now as I refit these tyres, you might have noticed the obvious thing that dopey old Stuart completely neglected to notice. They do look big for 18s, don't they? Well, guess what? They're not 8x18s at all. They're 9x19s. I think you can only go up 2 sizes without posing real problems for rego. This morning when I bought them, they're all wrapped up in plastic, and I didn't take care to check. I just checked the condition of the rims so they look good, because it's only the rims that I wanted. But no, they're not 18s, they're 19s. So now I feel like I'm a complete fool. I'll have to ring the guy up again. Incredibly annoying, because they're exactly the kind of beautiful Porsche wheel they would have loved to use. I'll have a chat to Matt. I'm in 1916. Too much, isn't it? Yes, even if the profile comes right down, it'll fit. But I don't think it's allowed. Well, turns out it is allowed, Stu. There are lots of rules, but wheel size is not really the issue. There are restrictions on how much you can change the overall tyres diameter, so we're going to have to go to a much lower profile tyre if we're going to get this car registered. The circumference will be bigger, but only by about 3%, which we'll take into account when we do the speedo calibration. Although I really would prefer 18-inch wheels, it looks like the 19s are going to be okay. Regarding tyre width, going from 225 to 265 at the back and 235 at the front is well within the rules. And what's more, the offset on these original Porsche rims with the Kumho tyres is perfect for the suspension geometry. With the scrub radius spot on, and the tyres will fill out the guards a lot better without using wheel spacers that are also not allowed. So it looks like it's going to work. Alright, thank you voiceover Stu. So look, the 19s are going to work, and they're Porsche. So the moral of the story is, if you're buying something on Facebook and they say, yep, it's an 18x8, and you say, can you check that please? And they send you a placard showing it's 18x8, don't necessarily believe it. Check it yourself. My mistake. 19s. Oh, but yeah, it does look horn, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks good. Okay, so I think we've got a little problem here. The backs are okay. It's going to clear nicely. The wheel will fill out the guards quite nicely. But the front, no problem on full lock. But as you're turning the wheel at this level, I'm worried about the clearance from here to there. So it's 336 from the centre of the wheel, which is about there on the horse's head. Takes it to there, like about 2mm clearance. And if you're driving fast, I suppose the tyre's going to swell. So, very, very close. If we had to, we can relieve this just a little bit. No, let's go for it. New player in the videos, it's Nav. Yeah, at Montview Mechanical. These guys are good guys to go to. We might be, if we're short 2mm clearance, what do you reckon we should do? Just relieve that?
Grind it in the back a little bit.
You're like Matt, you like your grinder.
Of course, mate. Everyone likes grinders.
All right, that's tomorrow. As you can see, it should be a priority to attend to these engine mounts. Look what happens when I get drive. Here we go. Clunk. And reverse. But the good thing about reverse is I now have a nicely calibrated reversing camera. And with a bit of luck we might soon have tyre pressure monitoring as well. I've taken the tyre pressure monitoring senders units out of the MG's wheels, and with a bit of luck we can fit them to the Porsche wheels. So the tyres, what have I gone for? I've chosen the affordable Kumho Extra PS71, as I've had quite good experiences with them on other Porsches. They claim to be an ultra high performance tyre, but I think that's going a bit far. They're just a good all-rounder and generally score well above average in performance tyre tests. About $200 each, which is a third the price of my favourite Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. And best of all, unlike the old ones coming off that are 2 decades old, rock hard and square, they're round and they're new. I don't know what I was worried about. The clearance is fantastic all round. The shock tower, everything. Nicely fills out the guards, comes out a bit more, not too much. Still sitting a bit high. When it settles down, it'll be better, but that looks great. Alright, let's see if these new wheels actually work. Right, problems. We've still got a vacuum leak somewhere because the brake accumulator pump's going crazy. I can feel it building vacuum pressure on the pedal, which is good. But you can hear the pump still running. It shouldn't go that long. And we've gone back to snail mode again for some reason. I think that's because of the brake vacuum. I did a full scan of the codes yesterday and there's virtually nothing to stop the car except for the brake vacuum thing, which has put us into snail mode. But what I'm really interested to see is if we go, have we got tyre pressures? Energy flow? No, we don't. Damn. I was hoping tyre pressures would burst back into life, but maybe we can wake them up again using the scan tool. So wouldn't that be cool if we had a 928 that had factory fitted, well MG factory fitted, tyre pressure monitoring. It's all there, let's just make it happen. Now I had to change those wheels and tyres, mainly because the old tyres were square. We can't do any testing on lumpy old square tyres, even if they just weren't safe. They were so old, decades old. So we've got brand new tyres that are only a couple of months old. Even though my tyre pressure monitoring system doesn't work, does it drive? Oh, I hear bad noises. Yeah. And I thought it'd be very, very tight there. And yes, that's a little on the tight side, but that's easily fixed. And it only needs to be relieved a tiny bit. But other than that, how does it look? Yeah, not bad. Okay, well it was an entirely successful morning, going pretty well. The only issue is, with a bit of lock on, we've got the clearance issue here, as I suspected. It's kind of nice to see the little brake traction at the launch, that's a good start, but we can't do anything with the throttle till we get the cooling system working. So, okay, that's it for today. Moving on.